So good morning everyone. We are here to discuss the General Student Martial Taxonomy. And together with my groupmates, we are going to introduce and tackle the General Student Martial Taxonomy. I am Gladwell Kimaman. I am going to start and introduce to you the General Student Martial Taxonomy. So I am going first to tackle the learning outcomes. First, define the General Student Martial Taxonomy. Define taxonomy. Pinpoint and identify different characteristics of general taxonomy. Associate to classification of general taxonomy to perform of motor skills. And lastly, create an assessment of movement pattern using general taxonomy. The topics under general student martial taxonomy that we are going to tackle along the discussion is the General Student Martial Taxonomy. Taxonomy defines environmental characteristics of general taxonomy. Under this is the stationary regulatory conditions with no inter-child variability, and then the stationary regulation conditions with inter-child variability. Regulatory conditions and inter-child variability defined. And then lastly, general taxonomy of motor skills based on the environmental constraints of two-dimensional taxonomy. Under this is the regulatory conditions and non-regulatory conditions. So let's start the discussion first with the general student martial taxonomy. So based on 2000, Gentile broadened the one-dimension approach by considering two general characteristics of all skills. Number one is the environmental context in which the person performs the skill, and the number two is the functions of action characterizing the skill. Then subdivided these two characteristics to create an expansive taxonomy that shall or produce 16 categories. So in this, the General Student Martial Taxonomy introduced a more comprehensive approach to general characteristics of all skills, and where the environmental context is all about where the skill is performed, and the function of action is what the skill accomplishes. So by breaking those two aspects further, it creates a more expansive taxonomy that yield or produce all the 16 categories. And then the second one is based on 2000, Gentile pre-dimensions provide wide range of understanding the movement, skill, and its main objective is to capture the complexity of many skills that a practitioner must take into account in terms of giving instruction, practice routines, or therapy regimens. It overcomes the limitation of one-dimension practice classification system. So in this, let's take an example. For example, I am a teacher and then I teaches a badminton. So in this general taxonomy, I must introduce first how badminton can be played. This first I started by introducing it and the simple, the basic actions that we must first learn before actually playing the badminton. So for students to learn and expand their knowledge, yun lang. Kung ako teacher, ang dapat kong gawin is turuan yung bata kung ano man yung first basics na dapat na matutunan in terms of badminton. For example, yung pag-reserve, ano bang tamang halimbawa magsiserve ka, anong placement ng shuttle, and then anong placement ng racket sa kamay mo. Kung forehand ba or backhand, kung long serve ba or short serve lang, like that. Yes. In this, yun po. And then, lastly, the interaction of the four environmental contexts, characteristics, and four action function characteristics create 16 skill categories. In this, the interplay of these 16 categories, the factors that needed for this is the for action function characteristics and then for environmental context. Kasi nagpo-provide siya ng more structured way to classify and understood para maintindihan yung different types of skill based on where they are performed and what they have to be achieved. So, yun na nga. Let's, yung example na nung kanina, yung badminton, kung gusto mo mas maganda yung side ng student mo, you need to teach him or her kung paano ba yung tamang posisyon, kung tama ba yung tamang pag-execute ng performance para malaman nila na, ay, ganito pala yan. Mas maintindihan nila kung para saan yung action. Yun nga yung skill. Magkaka-skill ka if magkaka-skill yung student mo kung alam niya at tinuro mo kung paano yung gawin na skill na yun. For example, yung pag-smash, one component of badminton ay main component of badminton is smashing. Kung tinuruan mo siya kung paano ang tamang placement ng hand sa smash, kung paano yung tamang paggamay ng racket, kung paano yung tamang paghawak ng smashing, makukuha na yung skill na yun. So, yun na. Everyone who is involved in teaching or training motor skills can benefit from the use of Gentile stuff. So, let's go. I'm ready for the next one.
Let's proceed to the first dimensions of Gentile's taxonomy, which is the environmental context. This dimensions refers to the conditions and surroundings that influence the executions of motor skills. And also, this context is divided into two dimensions, the regulatory conditions and the intertrial variability.
Thank you, Ms. Rinaldo, for the very informative information about the environmental context. So let's now come up with the regulatory conditions. Regulatory conditions refer to the environmental features that a person must conform to achieve an action goal, including the supporting surface and any objects or people involved. Take note that the regulatory conditions do not refer to a person's movements, but only to characteristics in the environmental context in which a skill is performed. And to have a deep understanding of regulatory conditions, Ms. De Lima will give some examples to make it easier for us to understand.
So, when you walk from one place to another, the surface you walk on affects how you move. This surface is called a regulatory condition because it controls the way you need to move to walk properly. For example, walking on a sandy beach is different from walking on a concrete sidewalk. On the sand, you move your body, legs, and feet differently because the sand is soft and uneven. On the concrete, the surface is hard and smooth, so you can walk more easily and steadily. In short, the type of surface you walk on changes how you need to move to walk successfully.
So now I'll explain about Gentile's taxonomy of motor skills. In body stability, there are 8 levels, and it is the same as in body transport. In body stability, there is level 1A. In these skills performed in a stable and predictable environment. Those skills involve maintaining or changing body position without movement and are fundamental for building more complex motor skills. And in this level, there is no object involved. So next, in level 1B, in body stability, this encompasses the same skill in an open environment, emphasizing adaptability and coordination in unpredictable setting. In this level, there is object involved. Next is level 1C. In this level, it consists of basic body transport skills in a closed environment, involving moving from one place to another in a stable and predictable setting. This level, there is no object. Lastly, level 1B includes basic body transport skills in an open environment, requiring adaptability and coordination when moving in a constantly changing and unpredictable setting. And again, in this level, there is an object involved. So we are now in the second level of Gentile's taxonomy of motor skills, where level 2A compromises manipulative skills in in a closed environment, such as using objects or tools with precision in a stable setting. In level 2B, uh, this level consists of manipulative skills in an open environment, focusing on adaptability and coordination when using objects in a changing and unpredictable setting. Next is level 2C. This level covers locomotor skills in a closed environment, like walking or moving in a stable and controlled setting. And lastly, level 2D. In this level, it involves locomotor skills in an open environment, requiring adaptability and coordination when moving in a changing and unpredictable environment.
Thank you, Miss Lucilio, for explaining the level 2 levels of the Gentile taxonomy of motor skills. So let us come now to the level 3. We have the no object manipulation. In the 3A, so body stability and no objects. So it says that the regulatory conditions in motion, so no intertrial variability. So for example, we have walking on a treadmill at a constant speed. Number 2 example is riding a mechanical bull with consistent motion. In the body stability under with object manipulation, 3B, it has regulatory condition in motion. So, walking on a treadmill at a constant speed while using cell phone. So, dito meron ng object. Number 2, catching a series of softballs thrown at the same speed by a pitching machine. 3C, body transport. So, this has no object manipulation. So, we have an example of standing on a moving escalator at a constant speed. Number 2, sprinting to the top of an escalator moving the opposite direction. 3D, with object manipulation, we have the example of standing on a moving escalator while holding a cup of water. Number 2, running to hit a tennis ball projected by a ball machine. So, in level 4, we have the 4A, body stability, no object. Number 1 example is walking on a treadmill at a different speed. 4B with object is walking on a treadmill at different speed while reading a book. So, dito meron ng object, while yung 4A, wala siyang object. No object manipulation. So, body transport na tayo. Body transport, no object. We have an example of walking in a crowded mall. Body transport, walking in a crowded mall carrying a baby. So, ayun. That is the 4 levels of general taxonomy of motor skills with its example. So, I guess you have understand it very well naman, and
is non-regulatory condition. So it is important to briefly mention that other features of the environmental context can influence how skills are performed, but not as directly as regulatory conditions. So Gentile referred to these other features as non-regulatory conditions. So they include features such as color of the objects, the presence of spectators, the weather condition, and whether the skill is performed during the day or night. So, tinutukoy daw po ng Gentile ang iba-ibang tampok ng kondisyon. Kasama na dito yung pagkakaroon ng manonood and also yung weather. If the weather is good or kung sasabi din na kasama ang weather condition, and also kung kailan pina-perform this specific condition, kung araw ba or gabi. And also all of these features can influence performance, but they do not determine movement characteristic in the same way as regulatory condition. So next is definition of terms. First, we have regulatory condition. So features of the environmental context to which movement must conform if they are to achieve the action goal. They regulate spatial and temporal aspect of the movement. So when we say regulatory condition po, this determine that this is to regulate the movement characteristic of an action. For example, the surface on which person walks influence the movement a person uses walk on that surface. And also for the action of hitting a ball, it include the size, the shape, and etc. So sometimes the regulatory condition is stationary. This is the case when you walk on the sidewalk. So, and also regulatory condition is on motion. This occurs when you must step into an escalator. So next is non-regulatory condition. So features of the environmental context that have no influence or only an indirect influence of movement characteristics. So sinasabi daw po dito is hindi environmental context that have no influence, wala daw influensya yung environment context, and only indirect influence daw po on movement characteristics. So lastly, intertrial variability. So an environmental characteristic, Gentile taxonomy of motor skills it refers to whether the regulatory condition so associated with the performance of a skill change or stay in the same from one trial to the next. So, ang intertrial variability daw po is an absent or present. So, almost present when the condition are in the motion if the environmental context, if the condition are in motion, then there going to be variability. Every time, like if we're playing basketball in the court, the different players po are in different 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 location if how the skill is executed. So environment context daw po is from to then um, event to then nagkakaroon daw po ito ng um, intertrial variability.
The two features of environmental context. Using a 2x2 diagram where regulatory conditions are either stationary or in motion on one dimension and intertrial variability is either present or absent, is one way to show the relationship between the environmental context characteristic. Table 2 above illustrate how this configuration result for unique motor categories.